we've got a lot to cover tonight, so we'll go ahead and get started. I want to thank everyone for attending our February state call. Thank you for adjusting your schedules. As you know, we moved it up a little early this month, but we'll get back on schedule next month with the fourth Wednesday of the month. So let's get started here, and first thing we'll take a look at is, of course, our agenda for this evening. We'll touch on the vision statement, mission statement like we normally do. We're going to have Rodney Huckleberry with us tonight to talk about Arkansas coming on board and some other things that are happening nationally. Give us kind of an update there. Got a couple Patriot pins to hand out tonight, and we'll be doing that every month. We've got a lot of people in this state that deserve Patriot pins. We just can't do them all at one time. But we'll do 2 more tonight. We'll get into grassroots. We're going to talk about the new training program, or the revised training program. Got a lot of big news for you there in that respect. Then we'll look at our tracking updates, comms team, legislative, with Paul and then Ken on comms team. Got some big news there for you tonight. Maya's with us to give us a update on Young Americans. Sounds like she's making good progress. We got some super self-governance examples to share with everyone tonight, and hopefully, if we have time, we'll go around the horn and get everyone's input. So, welcome aboard, everyone. Let's get started here. Vision statement that we always lead off with: build a Hoosier grassroots community of citizens and legislators dedicated to the constitutional concept of self-governance. That's what we're all about. That's what we're striving to ultimately achieve here in the state of Indiana. Everything we do should be directed toward ultimately achieving that vision statement. Now, our mission statement, these are major goals that we have set for ourselves this year in Indiana that, if achieved, will get us closer to realizing that vision. Our mission goals, 4 major goals. Now, each goal has a set of strategies, in other words, tasks that need to be completed in order for those goals to be achieved. But we won't go into those tonight. But our major goals are to meet quarterly and present a 34 Ready plan to all targeted legislators. And we're going to talk about that a bit tonight. Second goal, show grassroots, grow the grassroots to 40,000 petition signers. I got some good news on that tonight. We're off to a really good start this year, folks. So got some good news on that. Number 3, establish 7 region captains in our state. We now have 4. We just need to get 3 more to reach that goal. So we're making good progress in that respect. And 4th goal is to create 4 Young Americans high school chapters. And like I said, Maya's got some, I think, some good news for us tonight. Making some good progress toward achieving that goal. Okay, well, without further ado, Rodney, you want to come on and give us an update? I've got Arkansas here first, and then the map that you sent me, and I wanted you to touch on the Ben Shapiro program. So tell us all about Arkansas, Rodney.
Arkansas was fabulous, number 13, lucky 13, I guess you'd say. Yeah, the team did great down there. They only have sessions every other year, so they passed in pretty good time. Really engaged team down there. The one thing that you may have heard on other webinars and things is one of the real keys to what happened in Arkansas was the letter writing campaigns, and they got together in groups and even individuals. They wrote personal letters to legislators. There was one that I know of that one of the legislators was a no vote on Convention of States, and when he received a personal letter explaining why he should be for Convention of States and pass it, and given the passionate story of the patriot that wrote it, it switched him from a no vote to a yes vote, and that happened right before maybe the Senate hearing, or the Senate debate, I think, or the Senate hearing. So that was pretty cool. And they also did thank you letters to those in the Senate and the House for those that supported the Convention of States. And there was one representative, I think it was there, it kind of brought her to tears because she said she had never received a thank you letter from anybody that was advocating for anything, any law, anything in the state. So that just, she was just so thankful for that letter. So great thing there. We're planning on, hopefully, and Dale, you may have a meeting that night, and I apologize if it trumps your meeting or whatever. But hopefully, if my schedule works out, we'll have a Past States Welcoming Party webinar for Arizona next Thursday. It'll probably be like 7 Central, 8 o'clock Eastern on there. And we'll hear directly from Arkansas, did I say Arizona? We'll go Arkansas on all the things that happened there, all the great things. I would have liked to have had it sooner, but I'm supposed to be scheduled for a thing here in St. Louis to talk on Convention of States tomorrow night, so that wasn't going to work out. All right.
Let's move on to the map here. Tell us, are these yellow states, these are the ones that are potentially in play, right?
Yeah, they are. The yellow ones are states that have passed in a subcommittee or a committee in one chamber or the other. That's what the yellow ones are.
Okay. What do you think our odds are? How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
9.
Did I count those right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9. South Dakota has failed, so that one we can't count. Let me see. West Virginia is looking very promising, and I thought they were going to have a floor debate this evening after it passed in a subcommittee yesterday evening, but I hadn't heard that there's anything there.
Okay.
What's the little one up there by Maine? My geography is horrible.
Well, I think
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire?
Yeah. So that one looks real good. I don't think it's one of the states that we expect it to pass in a lot. Keep in mind, some of these blue ones here. So I'm still expecting we're going to pass 10 states this year solidly. So South Carolina's in blue, and that's just because they haven't had a hearing there. We had a legislator there that was blocking it for the last few years, and through the election, I don't know if he turned out or moved up into a state-level spot or federal government or whatever, but he's now gone, and there's some real good confidence that South Carolina will pass this year.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's some of these other states.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So West Virginia is looking real promising here shortly, and of course Utah. That one looks really good too. We've been waiting on a second reading floor debate on that, and it'll have to go to a third reading, but we're expecting a lively debate in Utah when that happens. And I put that message out there 2 days in a row, and it depends on their calendar and their schedule when they get to it.
Now, Utah failed a couple years ago, didn't it?
Yeah, they did. We had a key guy that was kind of helping out Convention of States there at Ken Ivory, for anybody that might remember that name. And I think that might have had a lot to do with it, because he was actually one of our advisors at the time, and there was a little bit of legislature thought there was a little bit of conflict of interest. I don't know if that had to do with it or it was other things, but it's progressed really well since then. Paul Hodson was the regional director there, and he took several trips out there over the summer, meeting with the grassroots and the team and all that. And he's got them all worked up and inspired, so that's pretty cool.
Good, good. All right, thanks, Rodney. Well, one more thing I wanted you to touch on tonight.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, we've been waiting on this for like 2 weeks. We said it was going to happen a week or two ago, and it didn't happen, and it's on his schedule. He'll do 1 or 2 promotions a week from the way I understand it, and it hit today. And anybody that was on the COS DC volunteer webinar last night on Tuesday night, Jason Gerard said it was going to be today, so I confirmed that with him this morning, and that's when word went out that he was going to do it or did it or whatever. And so people started flooding in, and really what we've seen happen in just like an hour's time was more than what we got from Hannity. I had kind of told the national team that we should expect more than what they were thinking. They didn't think it would be a lot of people. And within an hour, we had like 1,007 people sign the petition. And I'm sure it's more than this now, but we rolled over 1.2 million petition signers with this. We were down into 1.1 somewhere. And last I saw, we had like 2,200 people sign up across the nation. And I'm sure Indiana's gotten quite a few of those. So this is pretty great. The reason I thought it was going to be bigger is because when he does his live broadcast during the day, not everybody can hear it. So after hours, you're going to get some more that listen to the podcast later on, and then you're also going to get the domino effect from social media, from his people, his fan base that listen to him. They're going to be tweeting out all kinds of stuff and all of their social media. So I figured it was going to be a lot bigger than what we expected, and it was. Now, I do expect it to be, this is just my personal opinion, I think it's going to be a spike because his audience is not as big as Levin or Hannity yet, but he is growing fast. And so I think we're going to see it spike and then it'll kind of drop off. We saw that with Hannity, but it took longer for it. I think what we're going to see is a spike and drop off a little bit faster than that. So that's just my personal opinion of what might happen here. The key is to reach out to these people as quick as possible, of course. And, of course, they've got the 4 text method there. One thing I want to mention, I heard on the Georgia State Call they had Monday night, a guy on there had a really cool idea for people that might have trouble with the PC app to be able to text from there and match it up with your provider and all the other complications, unless you've got a Apple PC and iPhone or whatever. Those seem to work real well together. But what he was talking about was having a document, and you could like send to your email on your phone or a document on your phone that had the 4 texts on there that you wanted to send them, and you could copy from that document on your phone into the text on your phone and bypass the PC method. The key there is you're going to have to go back and remember to go into the person's profile and copy that text into there and make your note. But I thought that was a really easy, simple, and obvious workaround to that PC app.
Okay, well, let's hope we get a lot of new petition signers from Shapiro. That would be great. He's got a big following, I know.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Rodney. Thanks a lot, guy. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys for all you're doing, too, as well. You're doing great.
Thanks, Rodney. Okay. All right. Next on our agenda is I wanted to present some Patriot pins. Turn your camera off now, Rodney. We love to see you, but not. There you go.
I'm muted and forgot to turn my camera off. So.
All right. Okay, Patriot pin. Just to remind everyone now, the Patriot pin is something now that the states can award to individuals on the state from the state teams. And it's a special recognition. It's a thank you to those individuals. They're individuals that go above and beyond, that are responsive, positive attitude, team players, and generally nice to the state director. No, I'm just kidding. That's not a requirement. But so, like I said, we've got a lot of people that deserve these pins, and we're going to do this. We're going to present one or two every state call. So tonight, I want these two individuals to please come on and say a few words. So tonight, the pin goes to George Ward, our state grassroots coordinator, and Ken Kashuba, our state communications coordinator. Now, I know you two guys are on the call. George, you go first. You there?
Yeah, I'm here, but give me a minute. I got to turn on the light, got to pull my hair back, got to get dressed. Thank you for the warning.
Get dressed? Oh, my God. No.
No. I got to put a shirt on.
Keep your camera off.
Okay, good. I need to save my bandwidth anyway.
Okay. Well, George, congratulations on the Patriot pin. You certainly deserve it.
Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I always had all these fantasies. Well, if he ever wants to give me a pin, I'm not going to accept it because I don't think I do that much and stuff. But it is kind of cool being on the receiving end. I enjoy doing the work. Keeps me off the street, keeps me out of bed. I like taking my naps and stuff. And I really enjoy meeting everybody and working with all the people and stuff. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, George. You do a good job for us. Are you feeling better now? You were sick last week, right?
Yeah. Feeling a lot better now. You know, each day's feeling better, and so getting back in the groove.
All right. So, good.
And as far as now that I got the mic open, now I've seen 9 people come through from Ben Shapiro.
Oh,
so,
9. It was just 1 the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think that was just, I don't know how that happened because that was before he actually started. It was like the day before, so I don't know what happened there. I just, enable the filter in the follow-up tool, and they pop up. But, so that one popped up one time. And then we had 8 between yesterday and today. So.
All right. All right, George. Thanks a lot. Thanks, George.
Right.
And we'll get the pin to you. Ken, are you on?
Yes, I'm on, but boy, you had to put me on to follow George. That's a hard act.
That's a hard act to follow, isn't it?
Sure is. But I'm honored. I really appreciate.
You got your camera on? Have I disappeared? Can you guys see me on there?
Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah, everything was fine.
I can't see me. Okay, Ken, you got your camera on?
I do. I think I'm right in my box. I'm above you.
Well, see, I don't see you. I don't know where you've gone.
If you remember that square television show where in squares. Yeah, I'm above you. But I do appreciate that. This is it's humbling to receive a pin. I'm not in this for that, but it's nice to get recognized. But it's just a phenomenon to be a part of something that's growing like it is, and really the overall purpose of what we all gather together to do is really the driving factor behind what allowing me to participate in any way I can. So I really just I enjoy bringing whatever talents I have to the table, and it's just neat to see this thing growing by leaps and bounds. So that's. Well,
I'll tell you, I appreciate your talent. You amaze me sometimes. You really do.
It's fun when you enjoy doing it, and that's kind of it's nice when you can mix something you enjoy doing with and combine that with an effort that's that's really geared towards
Now,
improving.
you are doing all these things, right? Your wife's not doing them, really, are they? You are doing them, right?
Yeah, I am doing them.
Okay.
I haven't had Walt Disney or anybody give me any help.
All right. Well, Ken, congratulations. Good job, man, and we'll get your pin to you. I haven't even gotten Paul's pin to him as yet, so I'll get it to you.
He lives closer to you than I do. That's
okay.
Thanks.
Let's move on to the next item on the agenda. Let's get into grassroots. George, this is your area. You can chime in at any time here. We're going to talk about training, our new training program. We're going to identify some new leaders that we have in place, and go through a couple of the normal tracking reports that we normally go through. But let's talk about our training program. As you all know, our education and training director, Rachel Kessler, resigned last month. So we have been now in the process so far this month of February, and we've got another conference call coming up this Friday. Hopefully we'll have it wound up and completed. But what we've done is we've revised the training program, we've updated it in certain areas, and so we got I think a bigger and better training program that we'll be able to offer to trainees now. And we're staying with the module concept, but we're going to 6 modules, and I'm going to go through those real quickly here. George will be monitoring this whole program. He will be generating and updating a tracking report for us to be able to see how people are progressing through the training program. And let me touch on the modules that we have included in the program now. Every module will be presented by one of the support staff, okay? The first module will be an introduction module. That'll be presented by George. The second module will deal with technology. And one of our new SIAs, Chris Miller, has completed his training from National, as well as went through our training also. But he's coming on board now, and he's going to handle the technology module. Then Paul Phillips will do the legislative module, as we always had. Then George and Gary Harbaugh will handle the grassroots module. Then we have comms module. This is new, and Ken Kashuba will be handling that module. And then this is also new, a wrap-up module at the end, and that will be done by me. So this will be a chance for me to kind of quiz the trainee to make sure that he or she has picked up the important things that I think should have been learned. Okay, we got some muddling in the back here. And then also give me a chance to set the stage for the district captain going forward, too. Once he or she is, once we turn them loose to become district captains. So, anybody have any question on the modules or the training program that we're talking about here?
I can give a quick update. This is George.
Okay.
We have our first, from the get-go, trainee coming on, James Bradburn. He was just assigned as district captain team member, and talked and scheduled module 1 with him earlier this evening. In fact, just before this call, and we're doing module 1 this coming Saturday. So it'll be a nice opportunity to, kind of iron out or comb out some of the knots that might be present. But I think it's going to work out well. And some of the people who are already in the system will work on playing catch up, and that's going well too. I like this new system, Dale.
Good.
I like the way it's set up, and we'll try not to have so many people drop off.
Since you mentioned the people that are in there, we have some people. Let me go through these. These are people that were in the training program when Rachel resigned, so that we kind of have left them hanging there. But and I appreciate them. I want to thank them all for their patience with us here. But we're going to get them back on track. And these are all, as I said, they're new district captains that have been in that were in the training program. Then we did. And George, you mentioned James Bradburn. I didn't know he was getting ready to start, but that's good. That's good. And that's down in Region 7, I might say, down in Kim's region, Kim Webb. But now I also wanted to recognize an individual that had completed his district captain training last month, actually. And we didn't get it. He had a conflict with our call last month and wasn't able to attend. And I wanted to recognize him tonight. James, are you on tonight? I don't see your name on the list here. James Caldwell, are you on tonight? Well, looks like we missed him again. But James completed his training actually last month. He's district captain now down in District 65, which is in Region 9. He's the only one in Region 9, only district captain in Region 9 right now. Okay. George, you have anything else to say about the training program then?
No, I'm cool. I'm good, thanks.
All right. Okay, let's move on then to a couple of our tracking reports here. You all are familiar with this report. This shows in red the number of district captains that we have in place, and of course then our region captains across the top. We're actually down to 17 district captains right now. We did lose one last month, a young man that was district captain down in District 43 resigned of personal problems. So we're down to 17. But I really feel confident now that we've got 4 region captains in place, I really am confident that we're going to get the district captains that we're trying to achieve. We're trying to get to 5 district captains in each region. That's our goal. Region 3 is the only region right now that has already attained that goal. So we're trying to get to 5. So most of the regions have 3 or 4 yet to go to reach the 5. And of course, we're trying to get to 7 region captains, and we currently have 4. Now, let's talk about petition growth. Here, what I've done here is the first column here is where we ended up 2018 for each region. And then I'm showing the petition signers in February year-to-date, or I should say year-to-date would have been February. Then the number of petitions signed in the month of February, and then the number year-to-date that have signed. So we have here year-to-date 2,107 new petition signers. Now, folks, that's really good to start the year out. Last year, you see my note here, February of 2018, we had 2,084. And that included the month of February, of course. And the month of February was our best month last year. that was mainly because of the Hannity promotion that kicked off. Are you all hearing that garbling in the background? Please mute yourself.
Yes, I am.
I don't know. I asked, please mute yourself while you're not on, because somebody is, I think, causing that. Okay, got it. All right. So we, as I said, last year in February was our best month all year long, and it was due to the Hannity promotion. So we have matched that where we were last year. So we're off to. My point is, we're off to a really good start, and I think the momentum is going very strong for us here. And I want to thank everyone for all that they do, because this is a major goal that we're trying to achieve, is to grow the grassroots. The Region 4 was the outstanding region for the month with 171 petition signers. Year to date, Region 6 is in the lead. And the outstanding district, I made an error here. The outstanding district for the month was actually District 50. Victoria Morning is the district captain in District 50. It had 25, and I by mistake picked out District 33 here. So congratulations, Victoria. Thank you. Good job. Good job. Anybody have any questions on the tracking reports? Anybody, anything? Okay, let's move on then. Positions that we're still trying to fill, of course, still looking for district captains, event coordinator, coalitions director, veterans coalitions director, videographer, media liaison. We're still looking for individuals to fill those positions. So be on the lookout for anyone that you come across that might have some skills like this that could fit into one of these positions. Okay, Paul, want to talk about, give us a legislative update, if you would, please.
I would be happy to.
Paul's in Florida right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Paul's at a conference down in business conference down in Florida. What's the temperature down there right now, Paul?
Right now it's 76.
Oh boy, you got it tough there, I'll tell you.
Yeah, then somebody's got to do it. So.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, but he's got to come back too.
Yeah, I'll come back to the cold tomorrow. So.
Okay.
So the couple of things I wanted to talk about is give you some updates on the faithful commissioner law. We're going to take a look at the target legislator list, and then a book that I want to recommend to everybody by Professor Rob Nadelson, The Law of Article 5. So the faithful commissioner law, I just wanted to update you a little bit, and I plan on revising the legislative training based on some updates here. And most of this actually comes from the book, The Law of Article 5, and some new information that I've gotten from the book. And at our last legislative liaison call last month, Professor Rob Nadelson was on the call, and we had a chance to talk with him, and I had a conversation with him about some of the information in his book pertaining to the faithful commissioner law. So just to summarize it, what I'll tell you is I plan on updating the legislative training and creating a handout that you'll be able to use with the legislators when you talk to them about 34 Ready and some of the changes we want to see to Indiana's faithful delegate law. I also, in a Slack conversation with Rodney, I discovered that Rita Dunaway has sort of designated Louisiana's current faithful commissioner law as the model for the rest of the nation. So I'm doing some work at pulling out some of the differences in the Louisiana law and the Indiana law so we can use those as talking points with our legislators.
Okay.
So just be looking for an update to the legislative training. Do you want to go to the next slide, Dale?
Yeah.
One thing that don't try to read this, don't try to squint or anything, but this is our targeted legislator list, and this came out of our strategic planning session at the end of last year. And the main point of this list was, pardon me, to identify key legislative districts, largely for use by the support team in identifying where we need to focus on filling vacant district captain positions. The couple of lists we've come up with include a couple of committees, the House Judiciary Committee and the Senate Rules Committee. The reason we've selected those is those are the prime committees that any changes to our faithful delegate law have to pass through. So we want to make sure that we have district captains in the districts of those legislators. The larger list that you see on the second page and that small bit on top of the third page is simply a list of legislators who are new to the General Assembly since we passed SJR 14 back in 2016. So we really just want to make sure that we're getting in front of the legislators who weren't there for the passing of our application. And as you can see, that list is getting pretty big. And give us another election cycle, and I'm sure that list will be even bigger. And then the last thing, Dale, if you put up the book here, this is the book I was mentioning, entitled "The Law of Article 5" by Professor Rob Nadelson, and he has joined Convention of States now as a senior advisor. If you don't know who Professor Nadelson is, he is the country's, or I could say the world's, leading expert on Article 5 of the Constitution. And his book it's not that big. I think it's around 180 pages. I would encourage anybody who's involved with the Convention of States to get a copy and read through it. And it will prepare you to be able to answer any questions or concerns that anybody you talk to about Article 5. You can give them a great answer, point them to a spot in the book. The book is available on Amazon. If I remember right, it's about $13 for a paperback. That's not too bad. And if you want to get the Kindle edition, I think that's just $5. So I'd recommend that everybody get their hands on it and take a look at it. It's just one of the best resources on Article 5 that I've seen.
Yeah,
so
Paul, I think
that's my update.
Paul, I think Jerry had a question. Jerry, you on?
Not a question, but if you buy the book, the actual book from Amazon, you can get the Kindle version free.
Oh, okay.
So I have the book, and I also have the Kindle version on 3 devices, my PC, my phone, and a tablet.
Cool.
Thanks for the tip, Jerry.
See, that's why Jerry's an SIA. He's got it on 3 devices, okay?
One question while we're talking about the legislators and Ready 45, would it be best to wait until the session's over before we talk to them, because they're probably pretty busy right now?
Actually, I've had a lot of luck with meeting with them during session. You know, I've been down to the State House 3 times now.
Okay.
Session, and man, I've probably met with 8 or 9 of them, or even more. So no, I wouldn't say don't necessarily have to wait till the session is over.
Well, I'm talking about like at home in their city.
I've met my legislators in district as well. If you keep an eye open, they're often doing meetings in district. My rep and senator did an update meeting at our Republican office. Does it's like a second Saturday of the month meeting, and they came up and talked then. So I went out and met with them. So anytime is a good time to meet with a legislator.
Okay.
All right. Anybody have any other questions for Paul? Okay, thanks, Paul. Enjoy the weather. All right, Ken Kashuba, you there? You should still be there.
I'm still here.
Still there?
70 degrees as well.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the comms team and the big news that we got.
Well, the big news is after a long, hard struggle, we finally were able to get a template loaded into Citizens Builder in the email blast. That is our, at this point, official newsletter template.
I got a slide here with.
There you go.
Doesn't show us a whole lot, but.
Well, it's pretty basic, but the complication was apparently, you know, we Garrett did a lot of work to get this done, and apparently, you know, he had to go back in using MailChimp to get this template created, and then they had to install it through the national side. So, you know, it is right now still pretty basic, but for now it's going to suit our needs, and I think it's got room to grow. Hopefully, as we move forward, I was hoping for a lot more of a lot more drag and drop type application to it, which this is not going to have at this point. But I'm going to do a screencast recording on how to do the basic stuff with it. It will allow us to insert pictures, text boxes. It's pretty much like working out of a Microsoft publisher type application, except there's no drag and drop. It's a little sloppy here and there. You have to do a little resizing of boxes and what have you. And one of the things that I'm gonna go ahead and have Garrett do is add an actual title list to it. Right now, you have to basically go in and use some of the paragraph blocking to create a title of a text block that you want. But it's there, and it will allow us to go ahead and create our emails right there in the news blast, the email blaster, and use then all the other functions that are really great as far as the email blaster is concerned. So at least it puts us on the map and gives us a road to starting with our newsletter. So you know, it's been a bit of a struggle, but there it is. It's up and.
And Ken, Garrett produced a little video on this, right?
Yeah, he sent me a little demo to kind of see if it was going to be able to meet what we were looking to do, and yeah, it's really rough. I'm just going to take some of his points that he used throughout it, and I'm just going to recreate it and use that in our training module. Okay, and I want you to create something or send that out to the existing district captains too, so that they can be up to date on how to utilize this. Up to speed, use it, yeah. So we've been working on this a long time, and I'm really happy to finally
get this tool for our district captains and region captains to use. So.
Well, and from what I understand, there's a lot of other people that we're looking for something similar too. So
Oh, really?
It'll be good for us, but a lot of other states I think will start using it. And as I said, I think it'll be something that we can probably improve on as we go forward. And Garrett will help us there. Hopefully, something will be utilized. Something like once we move past the MailChimp area, maybe we'll get something that will help us to be able to drag and drop and make it a little easier to use. But right now, I don't think it'll be too bad.
All right. All right. Thanks, Ken.
Yep.
Okay, I wanted to touch quickly on a quick update on the COS Indiana live broadcast. We're coming along fine on that. Through our last broadcast, February 18th, we've been reaching an average of 272 people, 4 shares, and an average of 104 views. So we continue slowly growing. I think it was, what was it, February 4th when I had Maya on as the guest. That's the broadcast that has produced the greatest number of views. Something like 200 views, I think it was. So Maya has been a hit. Okay. But anyway, it's every Monday at 7 o'clock. Now, there will not be a broadcast on March 4th and March 11th because of the medical thing that I'm involved in. So we'll be back later in the month of March. So that's an update on COS Indiana Live. And if you're not, please be sharing this with your Facebook friends. Every Monday night, 7 o'clock, and this is broadcast through our state Facebook page, Convention of States, Indiana. Okay, Maya, you there? Saw you on the list.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, you want to give us a little update on what's happening with young Americans?
Yeah, okay, so far I've contacted a high school group. I have a friend there who's a part of it, and she has told me that she is contacting the group leader, and they're going to talk about getting me into their group to share about Convention of States. And then my dad and I looked up Purdue University, some of the student groups they have there, and we found 3 of them, Turning Point USA, College Republicans, and Young Americans for Liberty. And I've contacted all 3 of those Monday nights, and I'm waiting to hear back from them.
Okay.
So yeah, that's about it.
That's about it, but moving right along. All right, Maya, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, I got a couple examples here that I want to share with you. You may already know about them, but we talk about self-governance and, being involved and doing things. We had a couple examples here that I want to share with you. And the first one has to do with a radio interview that one of our district captains, Larry Wee. Larry, you're on tonight, aren't you?
I am.
You were before. There you are. You can come on camera if you want to. Well, I don't see you yet.
Okay.
Well, why don't you tell us about this radio interview? There you are.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about this radio interview that you were involved in.
Okay, this is something I've been trying to get set up for several months. My district is long and narrow and runs right along the state line. So, frankly, most of the media, the radio stations and so forth, for anyone in my district and probably the next district over actually come out of Cincinnati. And so there's a couple of talk radio stations that are pretty prominent in Cincinnati, and 55 KRC is one of those. And their audience base, as you can see from the coverage map, extends pretty far into Ohio, in Indiana, the eastern edge of Indiana, and then down in the northern Kentucky. So I will say this map is a bit aggressive. I don't think you can really get the radio signal out that far, but it's fairly representative of at least, you know, the general pattern of their coverage. So I've been trying to entice the program director for 55 to bring us on, and I found the best way to do that was really two things. First, I found an event where I was able to meet him in person because just email alone I wasn't getting it done. The second thing is reached out to, you know, some others in the Convention of States organization and got a contact to represent Southwest Ohio and then Northern Kentucky. So that's where we got Tony Kruger in from Ohio and Mary Jo Wedding in from Indiana, or from Northern Kentucky rather, and they were very generous with time. They gave us, it was an in-studio interview, and gave us 31 minutes is how long
I say it was a full half an hour, wasn't it?
Yeah, a full half an hour. Now, if you listen to it, of course, it's pretty heavy on Ohio and to some extent Kentucky, because that's where their biggest listener base is. But still, you know, the principles are there. We had an opportunity to, you know, to highlight where Indiana is out in front. And the radio host, Brian Thomas, has evolved pretty well on this. He was, 2 years ago, I would describe him as hostile to the idea. He's been warming up a bit. And when Mark Meckler was on the show probably 2 months ago, they started talking lawyer speak to each other, and the light bulb seemed to go off for Brian, and he became a bit more open to the topic. Brian's particular issue was he was worried about a rogue delegate, and when Mark explained to him, hey, this is agency law applies here. That delegate can only operate in the space provided, you know, by the law, by the state legislator. He became a lot more friendly to the idea. So we did cover that topic, you know, quite a bit, the front end of the interview. But overall, you know, Brian was very fair with us. He asked some hard questions. We gave him direct answers, and he was dug pretty deep into the status of the work in Ohio and Northern Kentucky. It sounds like the recent election really went against them in Ohio, and they're kind of starting over. The Northern Kentucky actually sounded pretty positive, so hoping maybe we'll see some news turn around with Kentucky here pretty soon. So,
yeah, I thought Brian asked some pretty good questions. I thought he sounded like he was well versed in you know what we're all about.
Yeah.
So I thought it was very good, and I just thought this was, and you really deserve a lot of credit on this, Larry, because I know the ball was getting dropped from time to time, and you kept pushing it. So I want to definitely recognize you for your effort in bringing this about. I mean, this is very unique, I think, due to the geography here, to have actually 3 states represented there on one radio interview, and we need to be doing more of these interviews. But I thought this was really great. So very good job there.
Thanks. My hope is I'll come back in maybe about 8 months, and I'll poke on the radio station, see if the 3 of us can't come back and give an update on what's going on. They probably won't give us another half an hour, but maybe we can get another 15 minutes or so just to pop in and say how we're doing.
Well, maybe if we have 20 states on board by then, that might get their attention, huh?
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, Larry. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. The next example I wanted to talk about, John, are you there?
I am here. Yes, Dale.
Okay. Are you on? You got a camera? You got camera? There you are.
Hi.
Well, John, tell us about your testimony that you made down at the State House, and tell us about that experience.
Well, sure. I don't know how much our Convention of States people are following the progress of the hate crimes legislation in the Indiana General Assembly, but there was a bill. It was Senate Bill 12, and it included a list of protected classes, which a lot of us feel is against the state constitution. Article 1, Section 23 of the Indiana Constitution specifically states that the General Assembly is prohibited from treating citizens or classes of citizens any differently. It guarantees equal protection for all. And this Senate Bill 12 did have a list of protected classes. And so they had a public hearing. They held it in the Senate chamber because they knew that there would be a lot of people showing up, and there really were. The place was almost filled. There were only a few empty seats, and it was a committee, public policy committee. And there were about 15 of us who spoke in opposition to that bill, and there were about 40 people who spoke to support it.
How many?
And 40, about
40.
40.
Okay.
And of course, a lot of us think the fix was in because
Yeah.
I'm a little skeptical. I think a lot of these politicians already know how they're going to vote in a committee, and they hold the public hearing because the law says they have to.
Right.
But I felt like they paid attention to me. They listened to me. Everybody had 2 minutes to speak. There were so many people who wanted to speak. They had to limit everybody to 2 minutes. And as I stood there and spoke, they looked at me. They made eye contact. They listened to me. And I felt very well respected. And it was a very good experience. Now, I don't know if anybody followed it through, but the committee voted 9-1 in favor of that bill and sent it to the floor of the Senate. And it got there yesterday, and a senator by the name of Freeman offered an amendment which scrapped all of the language of that bill and just added 2 words, including bias. The 2 words were including bias to the existing state code about punishments for criminal acts. And that passed the Senate by an overwhelming majority. It was something like 36-13. And that's the second reading. The third reading will come up in a day or two, and then it'll go over to the House. And we really feel like there's very little support in the House of Representatives for a hate crimes bill because our Constitution guarantees that everybody should be treated equally. And judges in Indiana already have the discretion to enhance a sentence if they deem it helpful. That was the ruling of the Indiana Supreme Court back in 2005. And so it was really fun participating in a little self-governance and going down to the State House and actually giving testimony.
Well, good job, John. You're setting a good example for everyone.
Thank you.
Everyone realize Convention of States is not taking a position on this. This is John is acting as an individual, which not acting on behalf of Convention of States. And we encourage everyone to act as to participate as individuals. We can't by law we can't take a position as Convention of States. So, but anyway, good job, John. Thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Thank you. Glad to report.
All right. Thank you.
Real quick, Dale.
Yeah.
Rodney here. Yeah, so I just want to say how inspirational you guys are and everything you're doing. I've got to go to another call, and it's awesome the way you guys are on the front end of everything with the newsletter and everything you guys are doing. It's just great, and the relationship I see here built on the team among everybody, fabulous. So,
thank you, Rodney. Okay, let's go then around the horn here, like we try to do. Just make note here that our March state call will be back on schedule with the 4th Wednesday, so the next one will be March 27th. So let me get to the horn here, and let's go around. Larry, Lee, you got anything else you want to say? All right. Okay. How about?
Sorry, I was muted. Nothing here.
All right. John Arms. How about you?
Oops. All right, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, John.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't have anything to say. Did this start at 8 or 9?
8.
Oh, okay.
These state calls always start at 8 o'clock Eastern time.
Okay, I got my email. It was 9, but I should have known, so I'll be earlier for the next one. But it sounds like things are going okay. I can't wait to get through my training so I can do something. Right.
Well, we're glad to have you, John. Glad to have you.
I'm reading, trying to get up to speed, but you guys are real patriots out there. Some of the things you're doing, and I'm still excited about this.
Good. Welcome aboard, John.
Thank you.
Okay, George, you got anything else? You probably got something to say, haven't you?
Yeah, I was just remembering what you said when you introduced the pins, that some of us almost even kind of nice to you. That was kind of a clue there. Well, congratulations on keeping us down to an hour. I'm surprised. I'm impressed. I thought, we usually go over.
Yeah, well, we're a minute over.
Good stuff out there.
All right. Thanks, George. Gary Harbaugh.
We'll say,
You guys?
good job by all. It's very encouraging to see what's going on, and I'm really excited to see all the new signers we're going to get coming in from Ben Shapiro. And I think one of the things we should expect from this is a little younger demographic on average, and I think that's a really positive thing.
Yeah, that could be very exciting, couldn't it? Yep. Okay, Dallas, and after Dallas is Ed Paraguay. So, Dallas, you got anything you want to say?
Not a lot. I'm encouraged by the movement that I'm seeing across the U.S., especially on Slack. Rodney reporting on all of that's happening. It looks good. I like the Ben Shapiro show helping. And like was said, the younger demographic I hope it brings on. I think they're going to be important because I think they're realizing what's happening here. So, good deal. Yeah. I'm glad to see it.
All right, Dallas, thank you. Ed, you on?
Hello, Dale and the group. Just wanted to say, I want to set the record straight on something here. I saw someone made a comment that I set some kind of record by turning in 58 names.
Hey, brother, I'm in a meeting.
What I want people to understand is that was...
I'll call you back after it's done, okay? Bye.
Over a period of 4 years, about 2/3 of those names were from the last 2 gun shows where I had lots of help from Gary, Bob, Vicky, Lowell, and George.
Right.
So it's one of the hazards of the internet. People see something, they jump on it, and they totally misconstrued it. But anyway, I think we help everyone get ready for the March show.
All right. Good deal. Thanks, Ed. Okay, Jerry, you got anything else you want to say?
Sure. On Ben Shapiro, I don't know if you're aware, but Chicago WLS started carrying him in January, so everybody in Chicago is getting blasted with Ben Shapiro now.
Oh, cool.
And that might pick up some there. You might be surprised. But, of course, that's primarily not Indiana, just the northwestern corner of it. But so there's that to contend with. And also I did finish up some instructions and stuff for the Instagram channel that we have set up.
Okay.
So and I sent that info off to National, so I thought they might be starting to post something to it, but they haven't yet. And John's been probably too busy testifying.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. Okay, Jim, Janess, got anything, guy? Jim? Can't hear you. We're not hearing you, Jim. Okay, I got to move on. Ken, you got anything else? Ken Kashuba?
Yeah, just I'll go ahead and speak for Jim on that comment from Jerry. Jim will also be contributing to the Instagram social media post as well, so we should have some additional help.
Okay.
Yeah, and other than that, I do look at working on a little bit more on the getting the YouTube thing finalized and looking to get Paul's podcast included in our YouTube.
Yeah, we gotta. Hopefully, we can figure out a way of doing that.
Yeah, so I'll be looking at that this week, and hopefully we'll get some of that done. But other than that, great job, everybody. I mean, it's great to see all these different the radios, the radio interviews, the state house representation. All that's going great, and appreciate it. Thanks again.
Good. Thanks. Kimberly Webb.
Hello. I don't have anything new to add, but just to tell you all that I'm very impressed by the work everyone's doing, and it's just been a great and informative call. Thank you.
Well, good. Thanks, Kim. Thanks. Okay, Larry Hudson, you still on, bud?
Yes. I hate to. I don't know if you got time for this. Maybe Ken can answer it. The first time I used the email blast, I have a total of 291 in my house district, according to district dashboard. We only sent out 182 emails, and I can't find the disconnect. I think I've got a total of 12 in that 291 that don't have email addresses listed. So I'm wondering why I was so short.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Are you saying you had 291 in the email list that showed up in the list when you sent it?
No, I had 291 listed on my district dashboard in my house district, but when I sent the email blast, it only went to 182.
I see. I'll take a little closer look at that, Larry.
I'm at a loss of why.
Yeah.
Ken, maybe Jerry, if you guys could take a look at that for Larry.
Probably, maybe they didn't have valid email addresses, that kind of thing.
That's the only thing I always think.
That's an awful lot of invalid email addresses.
Yeah, that's an awful lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
see if you can help him out. We got to move on here.
Yeah,
Thanks, Larry.
That was one thing that Garrett said would show up as people that didn't have valid emails. So.
All right, Maya. You have anything else?
No, thank you. Thank you, Dale.
Thank you, Maya. Thank you, Paul. You got anything else?
No, but I just want to add my congratulations to George and Ken on their pins. Well deserved.
Right. Thanks. Wild Man Thomas Schultz.
Yes, sir.
Have you got anything to say?
Oh, I've got plenty, but we don't have much time.
Yeah, we don't have time for it. I'm sorry.
First of all, I like to say this is that I guess the Senate didn't get all my letters for that bill. And I knew I sent them out, but I guess I'm going to have to take my senator to task. And I hope that my state congressman, House representative, or whatever you want to call him, Mr. Barrett, votes correctly when it comes up in the House.
Okay.
But anyway, I hope everybody stayed off the ice over the weekend.
Yeah, apparently Thomas, he told me that he had a talk with the ice. I guess he fell on the ice. So everybody be careful out there. Okay, that's all I see here on the list. I hope I didn't miss anyone. And that's it for this evening. Thank you for attending. And Kim and Paul, I want to talk to you some more. So everyone, have a good evening and keep up the good work. I think the momentum is with us here, not only in Indiana but nationally, and I think it's going to be a good year. So let's keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.